The Civil War abolished slavery, but it didn't end discrimination. Some states established Jim Crow laws that enforced racial segregation. Because of these laws and segregation, African Americans had to be separated from whites. They had to have their own drinking fountains, and sometimes they couldn't even go to the same place as whites. These unfair laws made it so people of color couldn't vote or have equal rights. Many people fought for social and racial justice from African Americans, for equal rights for all, like Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American minister who became a prominent leader in the civil rights movement. He is most famous for his "I Have a Dream" speech.
My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Malcolm X was another important activist. He was born on May 1925, and he was assassinated February 21st, 1965 in the Autumn Ball. We have a letter, and we'll talk about Malcolm X.
Dear Masari and Moby. Who was Malcolm X? From Idris Amina Bagstop Ahmad Jr. Malcolm X was an American Muslim minister and human rights activist who was a popular figure during the civil rights movement. He is best known for his controversial black racial advocacy, and for time spent as the vocal spokesperson of the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X broke many social and racial barriers for black Muslims. He fought for equal rights and was an influential civil rights activist during the civil rights movement from 1954 to 1968. He did his work on the East Coast. He also taught black Muslims and black people how to defend themselves against racism and support racial integration. His main focus was on black Muslims. Go to the site to learn more about Malcolm X.
The three following events were the most effective protests and acts during this time.
The Montgomery bus boycott was a civil rights protest during which African Americans refused to ride city buses in Montgomery, Alabama, to protest segregated seating. The boycott took place from December 5, 1955, to December 20, 1956, and is regarded as the first large-scale U.S. demonstration against segregation. The Montgomery bus boycott was a political and social protest campaign. The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom was a political demonstration held in Washington, D.C., in 1963 by civil rights leaders to protest racial discrimination and to show support for major civil rights legislation that was pending in Congress. It was held in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, August 28, 1963. Freedom Riders were civil rights activists who rode interstate buses into the segregated southern United States in 1961 and subsequent years to challenge the non-enforcement of the United States Supreme Court. Freedom Riders wanted to end racial segregation in southern U.S. 1961.
The work of these people and events caused change, and now everyone has equal rights. They can vote and go wherever they want.